firstly, there is a demand from our customers for lower carbon energy, and I think natural gas has got a great role to play in this. I think that this combination, which is obvious between renewables and natural gas, will increase. Whatever the scenarios which are published, you always see an increase of this combination, which should allow the CO2 content of the overall energy mix. So I think it's something which is asked for by our customers. I think it's something which is natural because gas reserves are there. We have proved, I think, our ability to deliver affordable natural gas. And the renewables are doing their share as well by lowering their cost. And the combination which needs to happen, which needs to be maintained between natural gas and renewable, just for technical reasons, to deal with the intermittency of renewable power generation. I think this combination is going to be a winner for the future. I think the oil and gas companies have got a great responsibility because they are the major energy providers today, so they need to be in line with what was just said before. But I think as well we are the solution. It is because we've got very strong balance sheets. We have an expertise in managing big projects. We have a global footprint, being present already in plenty of different countries and understanding and having the relationship in each single country where we are present. That all the gas companies are there as the solution if they embrace this change. And I think Total, for example, is ready to do it, and we are up to the challenge. We are there to just not be passive, but be the active participant into the energy transition. I think the new FIDs which are taken show two things. Firstly, there was a slowdown in the previous years, like in general the oil industry, and it's always good to see FIDs being taken, so that it shows a renewed confidence in the LNG demand for the future. I think what is good as well that there are a mixture of business models for those FIDs, and some of the projects in fact have got a very traditional way of marketing their quantities, i.e. they've been developing long-term contracts with end users. And Mozambique is an excellent example. They've sold most of their production, enough to be financed, enough to reach FID last June, and they have sold to each single market, which is always as well their shareholders. But they have found and they have found some long-term customers ready to commit on a long-term basis because they know that LNG will have a role to play in their domestic base. And I think that's a very good sign. I think it's driven, it's customer driven, and not just some FIDs pushed and we will see whatever happens in the future and we don't know what to do with the production. I think definitely that's a very good sign of a renewed trust in LNG demand. I think we deal with it and we should embrace it. It's a great opportunity. What does it mean, this commoditisation? Is that we will be able to have, in most markets, some price references and price indicators which reflect the supply-demand balance for gas. And I think one of the biggest difficulties in the long run has always been that you sell on a Brent formula which does not reflect the supply-demand balance for natural gas. It does reflect the supply-demand balance for Brent, or oil market in general. And so I think the development of those LNG price markers, JKM for example in Asia, of gas prices, successfully now in Europe and in the US, but we see deregulation, for example, happening in Japan, where there would be a gas and a power market developing. China is trying to develop a few of its own price indicators. The fact that you have price references which are matching the reality of the market will allow the market to be more efficient. It will bring flexibility. It will allow cargoes for LNG or gas flows to be rerouted to where they are the most needed according to price signals. And I think it's definitely something that we should help. Total is doing a lot in this. We've done, I think, the first paper swap for on the shipping market for LNG has been done by Total, and we are definitely trying to bring liquidity as well, for example, in the development of the JKM market. But I think it's always I think the location is great. We've had a few FIDs in the US. I think being in Houston this year is always interesting because the US is a constant amazement when you're in the gas industry. And now with the LNG industry as well, with the US poised to become one of the largest exporting countries. So I think the location is great, and definitely Gastech has proved to be one of the regular and most important meeting points for the industry. I keep being surprised by how many people come, and we've seen with the number of booths and parties which are organized in the evenings. I think that there is a lot of people who have got great ideas for the industry, show that our industry has got great prospects, and Gastech is one of the key events in the calendar of anybody who wants to be a player in the natural gas industry.